welcome once again to another section. We have a linear system of equation over here. So to solve the linear system of equation, realize that in the first part we have multiplication of matrix, so we have to solve the multiplication of matrix. So let's do that quickly. So we realize that in the first part, when the row multiplies that of the column, we are just going to get 2. This goes to 0. Now in the second part, 1 multiplies 3 here, we have 3, 0 multiplies, and it goes away. Now in the third part, 1 multiplies, we have -1, and 0 multiplies, the rest goes away. So we just have this. Now in the second part, we have 2 multiplies, we have 4, 1 multiplies, that goes to 0, this also goes to 0. In the second part, 2 multiplies that, we have 6, 1 here multiplies -2, we have -2, 0, and 0 goes away. Then we have the last part where 2 multiplies -1, we have -2, 1 multiplies 1 here, we have 1, then 0 multiplies 3 here, we have 0, goes away. Then -1 multiplies 2 here, we have -2, this goes away. We have -1 multiplies 3 here, we have -3, -1 multiplies that, that's 2, then 1 multiplies 0, which goes away. So -1 multiplies 3, have -3, 0 multiplies 2, it goes to 0, 1 multiplies 0 here, it also goes to 0. Then 1 multiplies -1 here, we have -1, so sorry, -1 multiplies -1, we have positive, right? So we have +1, then over here we just get 0, then 1 multiplied by 3 is just 3. So we just have our x1, x2, s3, then 2, -1, and 1 here. So over here we just get 2, 3, -1, 4, 4, -1 here, -2, -3, and then 4. So we have x1, s2, s3 here being equal to 2, -1, and also 1 here. Alright, so over here we are going to use so we are using the Gaussian elimination, right? We are going to use Gaussian elimination in doing this, and for that one we have to form the augmented system, as being equal to b, right? So where a, we have b here. So in this system we have just our a here is just 2, 3, -1 here, then we have 4, 4, -1, then also we have -2, -3, then 4 here. So we can have 2, -1, 1 here. Now what we are going to do is to we want to get rid of the coefficients of x1 in row 2 and also row 3 with using row 1, right? So in order to do that, you realize that if you look at row 2 here, we have row 2, and then for row 3, if you look at row 2 here, in order to get rid of this here, we have to multiply or we have to just reduce this row here by 2, right? So what we are going to do is that we have row 2. In order for us to get row 2, we will divide row 2 by 2. When divided by 2 here, you can see that we'll get 2, then minus r1 will make this to be equal to 0. So over here, let's do that. So multiply 2 here by 2, we have 2, then we divide here by 2, we have 2, divide, we have -1 over 2, and the last one have -1 over 2. And also for r3, dividing here by so for r3, in order to get that, we just add them, because 2 plus minus 2 just goes to 0, so it will just be r3 plus r1, right? Just r3 plus r1. So doing that, we just have so the first row will still be the same. The second row we said is that, and so we have 2 minus 2 here goes to 2, this minus here, so 2 minus we have 2 minus 3 here goes to -1, then we have -1 minus 1 here, and we are just going to get just 1 over 2. Then also -1 minus -1 here would also, so just minus 1 over 2 minus 2 here will just give us minus 5 over 2. Then over here we are just adding them, so 2 plus minus 2 goes to 0, 3 plus that also goes to 0, and then also we have just 4 here plus that, so 4 plus minus 1 will just give us 3, and also we have 1 here plus that will just give us 3 here. So from here we have, remember we said A is equal to B, right? So let's continue here. So we have 2, 3, negative 1, 2 minus 1, half here, 0, 0, 3 here, multiplied by S1, S2, S3 here, being equal to B. So B here is just 2, negative 1 over 2, and also 3. So we have this values here. So we have S3 here, right? So remember this goes to 0, right? This goes to 0, sorry, it goes to 0. So we have 3s3 here being equal to 3, and therefore s3 here will be equal to 1, right? Then also we have the second part, we have negative s2, so negative s2 then plus 1 over 2 s3 here being equal to negative 5 over 2 here. And solving this, we are just going to get, so solving this we just have so s2 here will just be 1 over 2, s3 is 1, then plus 5 over 2, and this is just going to give us 3 here. Good. Now for the last part we have yes 2, so we have 2x1 then plus 3s2 then negative s3 being equal to 2 here, so it's equal to 2, so that for x1 we're just going to get x1 being equal to 2 then minus 3s2 plus s3 here, all divided by 2. So from here what we are going to get is x1 being equal to 2 minus s2 we add to be 3, then s3 is just 1, then divided by 2. So we have this as 2 here minus 9 plus 1 here divided by 2. So realize that we have 2 minus 8 divided by 2, and this we have minus 6 divided by 2, which is a negative 3 here. So therefore we can conclude that s1, s2, s3 here is just equal to negative 3. We add s2 to be 3 and s1 to be that. So thank you very much for joining me in this section. I'll see you in another section.